Good morning, traders. Today is Friday, October 22nd. My name is Charles, and this is the Pirate Traders live stream. All-time high version. Okay, so I had to leave early yesterday, and it looks like I missed quite a party after I left. The market had it had gone rotational and had begun to sell lower and was looking like it wanted to break those lows to head back down and repair the gap. But instead, it just rotated around and then spiked up to break those all-time highs in the M period. Okay? But when it did it, it left behind, as is to be expected at this point, a ton of weakness below. Okay, so we left behind 5 weak references on top of, 3 gaps below. So that is a lot of weakness underneath this market. And now that they've gotten to that all-time high, there's going to be people taking profit in here, right? There's going to be traders who bought the dip, who bought the breakout of that downtrend on the daily, if we recall. Let me just grab that chart real quick and get that up here. So there are going to be swing traders who bought in down here who are looking to take profits at the all-time high as a first target. So I definitely think that for the momentum to continue is less likely here. I think the market is going to need something, right? It can do what it's done in the past, which is where it gets one of these pushes higher, and then it just rotates sideways until it fails to break out of that rotation, then pull back down. Did it here again, rotate sideways, started to break out, failed, pulled back down, so on and so forth, right? So we can do that dance again. We can just kind of bounce around up here around all-time highs, and then if we fail to break out, then pull back down and repair some of this weakness. That's probably too big of a pullback, but either way is the case, but I have a feeling that the momentum to the upside is coming to an end, right? All of this weakness yesterday, that is a sign that this was just short-term traders who were just desperately trying to get to those all-time highs. Those were the buyers in the market yesterday. So the overnights just rotated at higher prices. However, they have pulled us back down below the spike from yesterday. So we consider the base of the spike the M period high. You could technically also consider it the L period high. The L period single print that was left behind here. That's kind of up to interpretation. The official definition of a spike is just late day. So, in the last hour could be considered late day. So we're either kind of inside the spike now or below it, but just below it. So that's sort of a neutral sort of signal. And I would be looking for support this morning when the market opens at this 45.33.75 level, which was where that one single print from the L period was left behind. That could act as support there for the market. So, the market opens, we get some chop, we come down here, we find support. I could potentially look to go long there if I felt comfortable with what I was seeing in the internals. Otherwise, we got all this weakness below. So if this level breaks, if that single print that we left behind from the L period breaks, then we're going to head down to start repairing this. And what we do is what we call monitoring for continuation. So we don't know where the market will find support. So we just kind of get short and then we stay in the trade as long as it seems like the market is still going from each week reference lower and lower and lower. Okay? As far as the upside is concerned, I would just straight up use yesterday's high. If we get above it, pull back down, find support, that would be a good long trade for continuation higher. We are opening inside the previous day's range, so some chop is to be expected here. So Charles, keep it simple for me. Okay, I'm tuning in. I don't know nothing. Just what is going to happen? Is the market going to go up or down? Basically, what I'm saying is, in my mind, as I've been talking about for the last few days, I'm not going to fight momentum. If they continue to push higher today, I'm happy to go long and assume that they can continue to push it. But it does feel like it's weaning to me. And now that we got to those all-time highs, giving, those swing traders an excuse to take some profits, to my mind, now I'm starting to think we need to repair some of this weakness. Okay, we may just go sideways to repair it, but I think we got to pull back down here. Maybe even, fill the first gap, see if we find support there. If not, the second gap. Although at this point, that seems pretty far down. So certainly the weakness we left behind yesterday and the gap just below us down to like 45.12 seems like a reasonable repair for the market. Okay, so it looks like we found support exactly at the base of that single print. So I would consider that weak as well, making this a poor low. Poor low in need of repair. And then to the upside, as I said, if they get above yesterday's high, come back down, find some support in here, I'm happy to go long for continuation. Mangala, good morning to you. Welcome. Mediterra, good to see you. Welcome back. Patrick is here. Good morning. David is with us. Good to see you again. Let's get that bag. Mangala, TGIF, brother. Nicholas, good morning to you. Jose, good morning. Two Manifs, good to see you. Trading Donkey in the house, good to see you. Poor high in place already. Yeah, the week overnight high. It's a good point. Any all-time high made by the overnight market is considered weak. Philip, good morning to you. Mangala, I just won only 10 points a day to get rich. Hey, man, that's doable. 10 points a day. Keeps a doctor away. It's JG with the GM. Oh, boy, they're bullish this morning. They're buying. NQ is going to have to push through that 20 moving average up here. Let's take a look at the NQ. It looks a little more bearish. All right, ES is getting above yesterday's high. So now we're looking for them to bring in volume and build some support in here for continuation higher. Let's jump over and take a look at the NQ. Okay, yep. NQ opened a little lower today. Opened inside yesterday's value area. So not quite as bullish. So we could treat the single prints in the L period on the NQ here. As potential support, the same way we're treating the high of yesterday on the ES. So pushes above. When it comes back down, does it find support there? Jay Trader, good morning to you. Mangala says daily chart looks bullish. See, to me, daily chart looks like it wants to go sideways. But it is making higher lows. So the trend is still intact. The momentum is still there. And I don't want to fight the momentum. Arthur, good morning to you. My friend from Belarus, good morning. And thank you for hitting that like button. I appreciate you. Let's see if we can pump those likes this morning the way the market is pumping this ES. All right, well, they're building up support. Look where they're putting in the volume. Right above yesterday's high. That is bullish. Vincent, good morning to you. Good to see you. Core back with us. Good morning. All right, so as always, when you repair a weak reference or a poor high, you look for a couple of ticks of excess at the very least. Sometimes you get a bit more if there's like a short squeeze. But then you look for support around that high, because if not, it's likely to pull back down a little bit, in which case we would then look for support on yesterday's high. If that fails, if the market pushes above the all-time high made in the overnight, comes back down and can't find support in here, well, then suddenly this poor low comes into play. Next support is potentially halfback, but if they're trying to push higher today, they should find support at yesterday's high. So if they pull back down below that, I think they're going to have to go repair that poor low. Design up our Amir, good morning to you. Brian back with us. Naif, good day. Ye scoundrels. Ronald, good morning. Mediterra, I guess you're throwing out some targets to the upside. 4552 or 4571. Herman, good morning to you. Russell 2000 is down. Horishi. That is interesting. NASDAQ's a little bit weaker. Weaker than the ES, and the Russell is trading down. So what are they buying here? Probably buying the futures, buying the ETF. Cotton Dog, if you draw a line from the June 21st and July 19 lows, we are now approaching a trend line from below. Oh, yeah. No, I don't look at that trend line. Once it breaks to the downside, I'm not worried about it anymore. I'd say the stronger resistance is the all-time high and the profit taken there. Fred, I agree, man. But that momentum, boy, when these traders of this market, when they get excited, when they get bullish, when they think stocks can only go up, they just keep on buying. Every dip, they buy it. Momentum is definitely more powerful than weakness. Skubal, good morning from Poland. Good morning to you from New York. All right, so now let's see if we can find some support around yesterday's high. We do have terrible taper up here at the high. Actually, now that I'm looking at it, it's not that bad. Let me take that back. 5,000, 3,800, 100. Yeah, I could live with that. Okay, NASDAQ bouncing off that zero line. on the ticks, also pretty much bouncing off the 20 moving average on the 15-minute candles. So we would expect some resistance in there. If the ES can't find support here, it's probably going to have to trade back down to its low, as that is considered poor, as it came exactly to the tick to that reference from yesterday. But I'll leave the chance for the halfback to hold it up here. Freddie, good morning to you. Welcome. All right, looks like we're heading back down to those lows. Couldn't quite bring in the buyers there. Patrick definitely feels like someone's playing with the market. I don't know. It feels normal to me. It's just exuberance, excitement. That's what momentum is. People get overly emotional. That's what happened yesterday. You can look at all those weak references from yesterday, and it's just traders got way overly emotional. They thought the market was gonna break lower, and when it didn't, they just freaked out and they couldn't get in fast enough. They were so desperate for those long contracts. Didn't want to miss it. Didn't want to miss that run to the all-time. Designed up. Paging housekeeping. Ding, ding. Yeah, and this house is so dirty. It's like, this hotel is so dirty. It's like a rock and roll band stayed in there last night. Look at all this mess they left behind. There's freaking Guns N' Roses in this market. Less fuel, up then down. Friday? No, I don't think it has anything to do with the fact that it's Friday. Ironically, the NQ actually has much stronger structure moving up into here. They got the one gap down here from the 14th. But otherwise, this is just good, healthy, higher lows every day. Overlapping. Oh, one more gap. Missed it right there. 15,300 or down to 15,295. There's a gap that could need to be repaired. All right, back to the ES. All right, finding some support, getting back above yesterday's high. Mediterra, are we really going to leave the Global X high? I assume you wrote that a few minutes ago, but looks like they want to go get that. Get it. I'm not super bullish on it, though. Like I said, for me to get really bullish, I need to see them push above and then find support here. They pushed above and found support down in here. But for some reason, I don't feel very bullish. I feel like as soon as we get above that overnight high, it's going to tank right back down again. So I'm not ready to step into a trade just yet. And if that means I miss a few points to the upside, that's fine. I'll catch the next push. Rocket Friday movement, gotta love it. I've never noticed any correlation between Fridays and chop. Only opening in previous days ranges and chop. That's the way, Justin. There's always another train a-coming. Choo-choo. The red pill. It was great, man. It was great. It was lunch, and it was actually lunch, and it was wonderful. The food was hot. Uh, no, it's nice. It's nice. It was an old college buddy, one of my closest friends, and it's nice to catch up with somebody. When my life's been so like up in the air for the last like 6 months, and I haven't really talked to him much about any of it. So like catching him up and then him giving me insights because he knows me so well. It's just a nice feeling to be to somebody to get you, as cheesy as that sounds, and tell you everything's going to be fine. Better than Wendy's? Oh, yeah. Much better than Wendy's. This feels like a trap to me. It feels like they're trapping longs up here. Could be wrong, though. They could just be classically building support above yesterday's high. Building up momentum for a breakout, but it just doesn't feel right. No knife, stay in your trade if you're long the market here. If you're a one-to-one risk-reward trader, you could go long here for the repair of the all-time high with the stop just below the half back there. I personally don't like one-to-one risk-reward unless I have a lot of confidence, though, and I don't have a lot of confidence. But the market generator information is there. The internals look good. Trapping longs at all-time highs is the great American fall tradition. Does this happen every year? Oh, that's right. The Santa rally. True dat. True dat. That's like in December, though, I think that kicks in. Oh, yeah? Starts October 1st, huh? I don't know, Mediterra. I mean, if they can repair this weakness below, either by going sideways here at around these prices, or give us a little pullback, repair a few of those gaps, I think we can turn around and start trending higher again. So the more time we spend dancing around yesterday's high, the more I'm feeling like if they get below this little note of volume around the halfback at 45.40, they get back below that. It's a look above and fail of the previous day's range. And then I start to think about all this weakness we left behind yesterday in need of repair. Meditator, don't ask. Don't ask for more detail. Let that one slip by. Miles, look at the downtrend in the ticks. I see it, but they are bouncing off the zero line. Oh, is that the DWAC? Is that the Trump one? What is that? No, it can't be. Jay Powell speaking at 11. Thank you for the heads up. Jesus. I just pulled that chart up. Look at it, man. It's dropping like a brick. Like massive gap higher. Look at this, man. That's crazy. Anybody who bought it yesterday is like, sweet, I'll take those profits. I bought in at 40. I'll take some profits at 170. Oh, man. All right. Well, like I said, if this halfback can't hold here, this little note of volume right around 45.40, if that can't hold, I do think we're heading down to repair the weakness below. I know I said that last time and it didn't happen, but if they were going to get back up there and take out that overnight high, they've had a couple of chances now. So I assume this support will become resistance. Brian ES feels very Homer Simpson right now. Do you mean our Homer Simpson meme of him sleeping? I wouldn't say that at all. There's a battle being fought here. This is not boring. Buyers versus sellers. Who's going to win? Can they hold the high? Or are they truly just getting trapped for a massive pullback to squeeze them all out? Moment by moment. Anyone could take it. Trading donkey. On reflection, it was probably a mistake to sell puts against my BITO puts. Yeah, I saw an article this morning that said if Bitcoin remains bullish, they're going to be screwed. It wasn't even if Bitcoin comes back, because they're almost at the limit for the amount of futures contracts that they can buy. So they're going to have to buy the futures contracts for like the months ahead instead of the current one, and those are more expensive. So it's like they're not even going to be, if Bitcoin keeps going up, they're not going to be able to match the price. So it's like, wait a second, if Bitcoin goes down, they're screwed. If Bitcoin goes up, they're screwed. Who invented this ETF? And what were they thinking? Let's do it. Let's do another game of what do you think is going to happen? Are we going to take out these all-time highs right now? If so, smash the like button right now. Hit that thumbs up if you think the market's going to go up and get up above that 48 level. Okay, not that many people. Surprising. Okay, somebody undid theirs because you think it's going to go down. Okay, so now people who think it's going to go up, stop pushing the like button. If you think the market's going to go down, we're going to fall back below yesterday's high and start trending lower. Hit the like button now. Man, golly, the market is breakdancing. It's like hardcore pegged between these two levels. Oh, there it goes, starting to break above. Okay, so more people looking for a pullback. Rob, range day option. Yeah, totally. A rotational day, very doable here. But I just mean in the immediate short term. Like in the next 10 minutes. Fausto's long from 43. If we get above the all-time high and then find support, that would be a great trade because you could move your stop above break even. And then just let it run. Okay, poor high here in the B period. We often get a push away from a poor high. So if it immediately pushes back up and gets a couple ticks higher, that is more bullish. Yeah, Mr. Gonks. You can't get the ADSPD in TradingView. You got to just use the regular ADD. But I promise you, it's like exactly the same. The numbers will be different. It'll be much higher numbers. You know, it'll be up in the like 2000s instead of the 400s. But they move the same. All right, all-time high. There it is. Bing, 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 bing. So now the market is one time framing higher, which is bullish. We repaired that weak reference in the all-time high. So pretty much at this point, it's up to one time framing. They can keep, when the C period prints, if they can keep it above this B period low, they're likely to get continuation higher. Blue skies. But again, as I've been saying all morning, if it pulls back down, doesn't find support there, you're looking at repairing some weakness below. Here's the short squeeze. NQ pushing its way through that 20 moving average on the 15-minute candles. It's a little bit bullish. Nowhere near as strong as the ES, though. They haven't quite started one time framing up yet. And their value area is overlapping to higher from yesterday, which is neutral to bullish, whereas the ES's value area is completely above yesterday. Okay, so with the printing of the C period, we've left behind these single prints in the B period. The base of those single prints is at 45, 47, 25. There's a higher probability, I mean, it's happening as I'm saying it, but there's a higher probability that we'll push back down and backfill those. And then we look for support right there. If we get it, we want to go long with it for the continuation higher. We also now have another poor high in need of repair. So in terms of playing odds when something like this happens, right? The odds favor, especially coming off a poor high, that it pushes back down and backfills these single prints. But then the odds favor support at those single prints. You combine that with the one time framing, and you potentially, and the need to repair the poor high up here, and you potentially have a pretty good long there. Okay, so let's look for support here. Oh, didn't get it. Mm-hmm. All right, guys. Yeah, still don't have any certainty here. So like I said, I will get very bearish if we start to get below that B period low, which is currently, like, if we get below 45.40, I'll be looking for a repair of the poor low and then continuation lower. But as long as they keep one time framing, this market can keep trending higher. So with that, I will bid you all farewell. I hope you have a wonderful weekend. And you come back on Monday morning. You bring a few friends with you. You hit that like button. If you haven't already subscribed, this is a great time to do it. I'm probably going to be dropping a video this weekend if I'm able to finish it, which is going to be about Paul Tudor Jones. And it's just about a documentary about him from the 80s. So kind of a cool little video I'm working on. So hit that subscribe button so you hear about it when it comes out. And if you're in the Brigade, I will see you in the private stream. If you're not, you can always join. There's a link in the description, and it only costs $10. Thanks a lot, guys. Have a great rest of your weekend.